For my first listening strategy, I'm going to use a math concept book, and it can also be led into a science concept because at the end, the caterpillars will turn into butterflies. So it could be a good lead into a science lesson. And I would choose the three concepts that I have done for later in the year. So this one is going to be learning how to count backwards. And I would first have my 10 frame and I have my 10 gemstones, and we would count up together 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until we get up to 10. And then the students will start with a full 10 frame like that. And so we'll read 10 Wriggly Wiggly Caterpillars. It's a very fun, colorful book. I think it'll grab the students' attentions as well. So it's by Tiger Tales. So as you're reading, 10 crunching caterpillars in the bright sunshine, 1 fell asleep, so that left 9. And so when you reach 9, the students will take away 1, and then on their 10 frame, they'll be able to see they have 9. 9 speedy caterpillars thought they might be late. 1 was too slow, so that left 8. And so then the students would take away another 1, and that would leave 8. 8 munchy caterpillars all in crunchy heaven. 1 got a tummy ache, so that left 7. Another reason why I like this book too is there's rhyming words in the book. So then they would take away, and then they would have 7. And then as you continue on through the rest of the story, you would go to the end where they would have 1, and he's sad, and then it would show 10 colorful butterflies, so then you can count up again to 10. So that is my math concept of the 10 Wriggly Wiggly caterpillars. Okay, and for my next concept is a listening strategy. And I chose Pete the Cat, Firefighter Pete. This is by James Dean, and this is another fun book that I would do in the second half of the school year because it's a little bit more difficult because the students would have to listen for 2 listening things. Like in the beginning of the year, we'd start off with just 1. And so I created a Pete the Cat and then a fire truck. So every time I would say the word firefighter, they would hold up Firefighter Pete. And then when I would say fire truck, they would hold up the fire truck. You could also add a firehouse because they use that word as well. But firefighter is used a lot more. So they were going to visit the firehouse today. The bus parks next to the bright red firehouse. Pete and his classmates are excited. The firehouse is huge. It's so big it can hold 2 long red fire trucks and all of the fire trucks, so they would hold up fire truck, and all of the firefighters' equipment. So as you can tell, they would have to really listen to the words. The firefighters show the kids around. They give everyone a turn to ring the old brass fire bell outside the firehouse. Then all the kids take turns sliding down the firefighters' pole. Kelly yells and glides down. The firefighters, trying to show this, allow the kids to try on their gears. Firefighters wear lots of equipment. First, Pete puts on the heavy black overalls, then he steps in the tall black boots. A firefighter helps Pete put on his heavy yellow jacket. So the story will continue on, and as firefighter is used more than fire truck, you'll notice, because I did it when I was practicing, that they'll probably accidentally hold up firefighter instead of fire truck. So it's a good listening strategy for that. So that is Pete the Cat, Firefighter Pete, and I have a fire truck and a Pete the Cat firefighter. Okay, and finally, I have another listening strategy for the Wonky Donkey. Words and music by Craig Smith, and it's illustrated by Katz Cowley. And you can download a song to this as well, so it can just add more fun to the story. So I chose this book because it's a silly book and it's fun, and we can get the kids up and moving with this one. So I was walking down the road and I saw, so as I'm reading, walking down the road, the kids can be walking and they can put their hand over their eyes, for I saw a donkey. And every time I say donkey, they would say hee-haw, and it would be really silly. And he had only 3 legs. They could hold up the number 3, and he was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw, the kids would say. He had only 3 legs. They could hold up the number 3, and 1 eye. They could hold up the eye or cover up their eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and saw a donkey. Hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, and he liked to listen to country music. So they could play guitar for country music, or put on a cowboy hat, or do some, get really creative and do some country dance steps. He was a honky tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and saw a donkey. Hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, so they could stand and pretend to be very tall and slim. He was lanky, honky tonky winky wonky donkey. And you would continue on doing that, and as it got more and more, the kids would be giggling and just being silly and trying to be tall and listening to country music. And of course now he is a stinky donkey, so they can make the smell sound. And then he's trying to get into the short, so he's getting up to mischief. So he was a hanky panky, and it just keeps going on. And then as it goes, it's got a lot of repeating words as well, so the kids would start repeating the story, and it would just be a fun lesson, I thought, for the kids. And they would all at the very end yell hee-haw. So that is my 3rd listening strategy.